With this, the final panel, I should like to revisit the DIYOOKIM that were touched upon earlier. The first of these DIYOOKIM was the repetition of the word zichron as the opening word, introducing his commentary. Obviously, from the standpoint of a surface reading of Rashi, the word zichron would refer to psuki zichronot, and truah would refer to psuki shofrot, and as such there was no point in restating the Chumash word zichron as if to suggest that he is about to interpret this word. Conversely, if for whatever the reason may be, zichron was necessary, not as a definition for the zichron of the pasuk, but merely a requirement to enunciate and articulate psuke zichronot, then the same word zichron should have been added to the second phrase psuke shofrot. That embedded into the phrase zichron truah is a zichron, a requirement to recite psuke zichronot, v'zichron, and a requirement to recite psuke shofrot. It was the thesis of the Rebbe in the SICHAH that in actuality Rashi is alerting us to a different issue, namely the use of Zayin Chaf Reish rather than Aleph Mem Reish. For if the intent of the pasuk was to establish the requirement to recite Pesuki Shofrot and Pesuki Zichronot, there is not here an element of remembering, which suggests something that was temporarily or permanently placed in memory and needs to be recalled. It is for this reason that Rashi reinterprets the word Zichron as a standalone and referring to a set of pasukim in which we ask God to recall from memory the zechut of the Akedat Yitzchak, and in that zechut overlook their trespasses. For this reason, the word zichron is stated in connection to psuki zichronot. It is not required for psuki shofrot. Which brings us to the second diyuk, the need for Rashi to add what seems to be a reason for the zichron truah, namely lizkor lachem Akedat Yitzchak, in which an ayil was sacrificed in his stead. The problem with these two lines is that it is in conflict with one of Rashi's rules, that he does not provide reasons, ta'amei mitzvot, in his commentary. Here, the last two lines appear to be a reason for the zichron psuke zichronot, the Akedah. However, with the redefinition of psuke zichronot referring to the psuke Akedah, Rashi is required to clarify in what way is there an element of Zayin Chaf Reish, the recalling from memory of an event of the past. This he does with the first of the two lines, Lizkor Lachem Akedat Yitzchak. And thirdly, the placement of Psuke Shofrot is problematic. What Rashi should have done was to define Zichron as Psuke Zichronot, connected to the Akedah, and end the commentary with an additional set of Psukim, Psuke Shofrot. By linking the Shofrot with the Psuki Zichronot, Rashi in effect is suggesting that both the Psuki Zichronot and the Psuki Shofrot function as a reminder to God of the debt that he owes Bnei Israel on account of the Mesirat Nefesh of both Avraham and Yitzchak at the Akedah. And that link comes as a result of the blowing of the shofar. The animal of choice would be the ayil. And with this, I bring to a conclusion my understanding of the Rebbe's SICHAH regarding the commentary of Rashi to Vayikra 23:24, Zichron Truah.